Hello, and thank you all for joining our webinar presentation today. My name is Mike Stieslak, and I am the Sales Director at Recursive Labs. First, a couple of housekeeping notes. Your phones and microphones have been automatically placed on mute to drown out any excess or background noise. Secondly, if you have any questions during the presentation, please submit them through the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen, and we'll answer your questions at the end of the presentation. With that, I'll turn it over to Andrew Harmon.
Thanks, Mike. So let's go ahead and take a look at the world of customer experience as it exists today in banking and finance. So obviously you guys are all the experts here and you know better than I the challenges of winning and retaining online customers. So today's tech makes it easier than ever for these customers to switch to a competitor if they feel they are not getting these services or amenities they expected, and yet still neobanks and online lenders and other non-traditional financial institutions are continuing to thrive and grow their portion of the market share. So how are they doing this? Well, study after study, we're finding that that is through superb customer experience, providing a pleasant, seamless, and holistic experience through their brand. That means connecting with customers where they are, whether on your website or app or through a desktop, mobile device, or even a tablet. And it also means connecting when they want to. So we recently ran a LinkedIn poll and asked our followers how quickly they expected a response from a human agent after submitting a support ticket. And overwhelmingly, the answers were within an hour or less, mostly in the 10-minute or less window. So if we're going to meet these new customer expectations, we have to do this through innovation, specifically innovation through digital transformation. As we know, digital transformation was accelerated for about just about everyone during the pandemic and the resulting push to remote work that followed. However, in some cases, these rushed adaptations expose some big gaps in customer experience. In fact, one research institute, McKinsey & Co. estimates that incumbent banks could lose between 10 and 40% of their total revenue if these customer experience gaps remain unaddressed in the coming years. So where are these gaps? Well, over the last 10 years or so, webmasters have gotten great at providing these quick self-service tools, things like chatbots and support center articles to ticket systems and phone IVRs. And of course, the text-based sales chat that we now see in the bottom right of just about every website in the world. And these are great tools in terms of automation. It saves time and money, but they are not always the correct tools for every job. So where are these self-service tools falling short? Those gaps you will find in things such as complicated web tasks. Anything where you're asking a user to click through multiple pages or processes, maybe have a couple tabs open to reference material back and forth. Things such as onboarding processes, and then in the banking and finance world, more advanced applications such as real-time ID verification, or things like following your customer from your website onto a third-party document signing, aka for most of the world, DocuSign. If these gaps exist, how do we then close them? At Recursive Labs, we believe that the answer is visual customer engagement. That means co-browsing, full desktop screen share, and things like no download video chat. We always emphasize the no download aspect because if you're working through a complicated form with a customer, you don't want to stop and download an extra app and then ask them to create an account, verify their email. No, you just want to hop on and instantly face-to-face chat with them. And of course, if like most banks, you have a mobile app, you want to be able to easily deploy this with a mobile SDK. But most of all, you want these tools to be able to integrate and work together, not just with one another, but across channels and across devices and as a complement to and optimization of your existing systems. So I believe all of you today in attendance are Zendesk users, and all of the solutions listed in that last slide can be deployed on your Zendesk interface. So what exactly does it mean to integrate with Zendesk? Well, it means that all of these actions and interactions that you have on a video chat or co-browse session can then be pulled as native activities through your Zendesk into reporting and your usual metric analytics. It also means that no matter what device a user connects on or through, your agents will be using the same Zendesk UI that they are used to. And it also means that any optional session recordings or screenshots you take throughout the session can then be attached to tickets on Zendesk. So everything you will see here today, we will be conducting in a Zendesk environment so that you can visualize and picture these solutions as they would apply to your existing workflows. So without further ado there, I will go ahead and hand the keys over to Bud Albers, who will be driving for us today.
All right. Thanks, Andrew. Much appreciated. And let me dive in here and share my screen and make sure that you can see what it is I'm actually talking about here. And as we kind of dive in, we're going to start with our real-time family of products and really pick up where Andrew left off. And that is improving that online customer experience, really taking this to the next level and really being able to see what it is that your banking customer is doing online. In fact, in any situation, to be able to jump in, no matter what device they're on, no matter what browser they're in, to be able to see what's going on in real time and to be able to give them the support they need to take it to the next level. And you need to do that in a way that's really, really non-invasive and kind of doing it in that manner, because as you come in, you need to build trust with your customers in all of these interactions. No matter how complicated, it needs to be simple and secure. And we need to be able to support that complex customer journey. And what's most important here is that everything we do is zero download, zero residual. So we're never going to ask your customer to install anything. We're never going to ask them to download. It's going to be one click simple. And we do that in our real-time products, again, across a wide variety of different pieces, whether that's doing it within the browser for a very simple co-browse, whether that's doing that across a full desktop because there are issues or you have a legacy app in Windows that you may need to support, or they're having issues with a website launch and you need to be able to get to look at things deeper to see why your customer can't get connected, or if you need to support them in a complex process, as Andrew mentioned before, something like signing a DocuSign document. And obviously in today's world, we're also talking about online banking in the omni-channel world. And we have our mobile SDK that allows you to see exactly what the customer's seeing on the mobile device and to completely control that experience programmatically. So let's dive in and actually take a look. And as we kind of do that, I'm going to bring in the first screen set here. And we're going to do this on this particular browser is going to represent your banking customer, your financial services customer. And we're going to bring them into the fold on that screen. All right. And then as we move forward, we want to be able to bring in a second set of screens and capabilities, and that will be those on the side of the agent. And so here is the Zendesk interface on the agent side for all those of you that are familiar with Zendesk. And one thing that's really important to remember in the larger banks where you may have multiple CRMs or may have folks that you need sometimes to interact with customers that aren't on CRMs at all, we can support one single website with multiple CRMs, whether that's Zendesk alone, whether that's Zendesk and Salesforce, or if you need to, we can also then support with a standalone interface as well. And again, all of them supporting from that same key set on the site. I'm going to show you what's going on today from within Zendesk. And very important is everything that we do here inside of Zendesk is going to be supported as a Zendesk native activity. So you don't have to change your reporting at all if you want to see the impacts on shortening average handle time, first-time call closure rates, new customer conversion rates, and sign-up rates. We can support all of that reporting right from within Zendesk. And so we don't build another data island for you to have to deal with. In fact, we allow you to do that with your existing tools. So we had talked about things here being one-click simple. And we're going to start with a very simple application of how we can do this in a co-browse. And we're going to start with that simple read-only co-browse, kind of the virtual equivalent of looking over your shoulder, very, very focused on compliance-based industries like banking. We have numerous banking customers using these capabilities. Now, for today's demo, I'm going to launch that from this little icon down here in the lower left corner. This can be an icon, this can be a link, this can be hidden and hotkeyed on the page. You can start it from a chat, which I'll show you here in a minute. Important to know, and we'll work your best way to start this will be worked out during your implementation. The most important thing is it's one-click simple. So in this case, if they've called on the phone and they're on the website and they need help, you simply have them click that initiation mechanism, no matter what it is, and it's going to yield a 9-digit number that you see down there on the left. Now, that 9-digit number is going to be read off to the agent inside of Zendesk. So here, if I've got that customer record up from a prior chat that I had with the customer, I'm going to go ahead and verify that this is a good code. And just this quickly and this easily, I can see exactly what the customer is seeing on the screen. I now can see where their cursor is. I can see it as they move around. As I come in here, I can go ahead and they see where I'm trying to take them. I can simulate clicks. I can do a number of things for them. I've got a full annotation palette if I need to get them to where I want them. So I can kind of center that up and draw things out for them so that they can see exactly where to go. And you can make this very, very simple, all in a completely read-only kind of an environment. So I can see then what the customer is doing as I activate in that window. And when they come down, many times in the banking space, you've got forms and you've got those forms linked online. And we want to be able to drive right into those forms and allow you to help your customer to also focus on what might be important inside of those forms. And if there's something like a signature area, et cetera, to be able to show you and show the customer exactly where that is. Now, if you need, we also have our record product, which allows you to, as you might expect, record everything that occurs within this session, within our technologies, so that it can be used for compliance and training purposes. As a customer moves through the site, in this case, as I go down through the site, you're going to see that we're going to generate some new images and be able to follow that customer along. And as I come in here and I decide I'm going to go ahead and let's just quick fill, I'm going to go ahead and fill that out. Now, as you can see on the left-hand side here, it may not be the best practical example, but it'll give you a good technical idea of what's going on. We can redact and protect any element inside of that screen share without even having to change the underlying site. So you can see on the agent side that everything is fully redacted. And in that agent side, this is also the side from which we make the video. So you never have to worry about those private numbers, that protected information making its way out accidentally in a video, because if you've redacted it on the site, it's redacted in that compliance video. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this. When I'm done, all I do is end the session and I can go on about my day. I'm done. It's been recorded if I've needed it, and away we go. And it's just literally that simple. Another way that we frequently work in the Zendesk world, I'm going to switch over here and let's turn it on via chat. And very important to make this, again, as simple as possible. So if the customer comes in and wants help, we're actually able to come in, and there's the dreaded Zendesk cuckoo sound. We know somebody's in here, they need help. And now I am able to do just that. And I'm able to come in and help. But again, we appear here inside of this Zendesk window. We're able to come in and literally show up and roll on the co-browse side. So as we get started, we can go ahead and start our chat here with the customer, and you'll go back and forth and do whatever you need to as an important set of iterations. But if it comes down to that spot where you want to actually co-browse, let's just say, I get into it and the customer wants to show you what's going on. They can come in and literally hop through, and we can say, let's just do an easy join. We work closely enough in this case with Zendesk. We're just going to go ahead and we're going to talk and see their screen. Okay. And we're able now to, as you see in the customer window here on the left, actually get it down to a button that all that customer needs to do is click on the button. You see it's converted here on my agent side, and I can literally join the session just that easily. And now I can see, just as I did before, exactly what's going on with the customer, what they're doing, where they're at. Now, if this gets to be a particularly long or complicated session, I may go ahead and insert video. And we have the ability here to escalation. You let the customer know that, in fact, they're going to see a little green checkbox toggle up. Go ahead, click on that checkbox when they see it. And now we're going and start, in this case, a video to video interaction. And now you're going to see me on both videos here because I'm running both sides, but just that quickly. And I'm going to go ahead and bring that down. But again, you can escalate, and again, all designed to make this no download, seamless ability to handle complex journeys, complex issues, and take that to the fore very, very quickly. So now let's go into the next piece I need to show you as we do kind of a whirlwind tour here. And that is our full desktop and the ability to handle some other kind of complex situations. In this case, again, we're going to go ahead and launch. And again, it's a very, very easy way to go ahead and roll through, and you're going to get that same 9-digit code, very, very consistent here, so that the agent never has to worry about what's going on. And you can also, in this case, we're going to join the session, and it's going to come back and ask what customer they want to share. And this particular WebRTC integration, where we're supporting industry standards, gives us an ability to go to a wide variety of different solutions. We can go to a full desktop if we need to, if they're having trouble logging in, if you have a legacy treasury app that needs support on a, let's say, a Windows or Mac level, because we'll support them both. You can isolate down. So if you're sharing spreadsheets here in your wealth management organization and trying to work back and forth with a customer that way, or work with a business customer on a reconciliation, you can just share Excel. Or you can get into this particular space, and let's go in and actually do a DocuSign. Let's say we're getting into a DocuSign, and now I'm going to flip over to that window, and here we are on the DocuSign side. Now the customer's in DocuSign, and all I need to do is click to get started, and here we are inside of the DocuSign. And so, we can do this. In this case, is entered into on August 31st, and you can see as I am typing in here exactly what's going on. So however you set up your DocuSign, including the ability to get down and show the actual signature itself, you can guide them through the entire DocuSign document. And when it's over, you go back to the tab that you started with, and you simply end the session, and away we go. And so we make DocuSign just that easy. And one of the other things is that we touched on in the beginning, and we touch on here as well, is the ability to go ahead and handle the omni-channel elements of your banking equation. And so we take out the screen share here and bring in that mobile device. This is my own personal Samsung mobile. So let me take the other customer interface away, and let's run straight from here. And inside of here, I'm going to launch this little piece called RL Demo. And what you do with our SDK is you embed it inside of your mobile application. In that mobile application, you have complete control of the UI. So you'd never do what I'm doing right here, where it says share with an agent. You'd have that embedded in your own UI. But for the demo purposes, all we need to do is touch this. This is going to go ahead and start up the sharing. And this particular device is an Android. We work with both Android and iOS on the SDK side, and it's going to yield that familiar 9-digit code. And what I need to do is go ahead and type that in on the Zen side. And so that I am entering that up, we're going to start it up. And again, the agent experience to help you with customer effectiveness always remains the same. So it becomes a very quick, very easy experience on the agent side. And so as I'm now in the app, you can see as I scroll, you're scrolling with me. You have the ability to customize this cursor, but here I've got a translucent one for the agent experience, and I can guide them under what I want them to do and kind of move them through and around. All right, I see where the customer is tapping on that interface. And so again, I'm able to go through. If I need to, my engineers can call up blackout panels so that we can maintain them securely. And if you're having issues, with things like a check signing, etc., I can go, and we will also, even in this case, we'll show you how it works here. We support the camera so that if you have a deposit app that customers are having trouble with, allow you to get in there and to work from there. And again, once you're done, all the customer needs to do is hit end session. And that allows us, again, to record that activity in Zen, all designed to be very, very easy, very simple to use, a very seamless, no download customer experience, which is exactly what it is that we want to have. We want that experience to be. And so now let's talk about shifting gears a little bit here and going to that next level capability, really the video side capability here in the customer world. And it's, on our side, on the Recursive Lab side, we've really got multiple ways to help. We can use our Relate in Session product to allow you to escalate to a video chat, like I showed you out of the text chat. You can also bring calendar-friendly links. We can give your agents rooms that you can schedule and meet the customer there. We invented the category of live stream camera share working with the folks at Coca-Cola. So you need to do an identity verification. You can simply send the customer a text. They don't have to have your app. They don't have to download anything. One touch, and you can be live streamed through their camera, and you can actually capture their visual image their ID card and put it right in the record in Zendesk so that you have identity verification. You can also use that for a simple kind of chat capability, a video chat capability in wealth management if you need. What I'm going to show you today and focus on here real quickly is really that next generation of customer experience, however, our convergent video chat, where we actually allow you to do inbound video calling from the customer, where that customer of yours, your banking customer, actually can go ahead and really place that call directly to you right off your site. Doesn't have to be for anyone. If you want, you can make it a concierge type service for your high net worth or your platinum level depositors. It's really up to you. But we call it convergent because not only do we kind of not only handle the video chat on the inbound side and the queuing, but we'll bring live data right from the website if you need it so that you can see what's going on that site and answer the call in context by integrating a co-browser screen share. So in the banking world, that really may look something more like, if I'm on my banking site, if I need to come in and I'm on the credit card portion of the site, I can come in and the routing logic is going to bring that right to the folks who handle credit card issues. Or if I'm a concierge kind of platinum style customer, high net worth, my customer number may trigger a routing right to wealth management. Again, next generation customer experience in the banking world. So let's go ahead and fire that up and we'll take a look at how this might work in your world. And so I'm going to come in now and overlay our answering screen here. And what we're going to do inside of this is, and this answering screen is actually getting a major revamp here in the next couple of weeks. We're getting a next generation on the answering screen as well. But let me go ahead and let's start up here very, very quickly and just give you your site. So again, I'm here. I say, let's turn around and let's start this with just one click from that call us screen. And now I'm going to go ahead and start that call. And you're going to see that call jumps right in and it's going to say it's an English language call because it's on the English version of my site. If it was a Spanish call, we could have a rule that overrides the others that sends it right to the Spanish queue so they could be answered by a native speaker. You can control things geographically. You could be bringing data, products, or other things along. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and answer, and you'll see that it's going to pop up here now as I open this up. And we're going to have the experience on this side where that customer is just going to join in and their video starts automatically. And you're seeing now as I'm going, not only is it got an active video chat, but we have also started with a live co-browse already. So I'm right there. I see what the customer's seeing. I'm able to help them and really take it to the next gen. In fact, you can even do things like embed a QR code online or a video, or embed us into an online ad and get us right into your contact center for customer acquisition. But again, when you're done with the call, you can simply click on that, end the call, and away you go. And it is everything 100% no download, and we'll pick up from there.
All right, we will go ahead and roll over to a Q&A here. Let's see if we've got any questions hopped up in the chat for Mike to take for us.
Yeah, I got a couple of questions here. I'm going to go ahead and read the questions off. Bud, feel free to chime in with the appropriate answers. First question coming in here. With the recordings, are they stored within Zendesk?
The actual recordings aren't stored within Zendesk. They would be stored inside of AWS, which is where we're housed and run, but the link would be stored in Zendesk. So you're not, whether it's Zendesk, Salesforce, whatever CRM you're using, you're not going to get a recorded or an additional storage charge. We maintain control of all of that in a state-of-the-art data center with all of the recordings being recorded both in transit as encrypted and encrypted at storage when they're encrypted at rest. And so the whole process is entirely secure. In fact, one of our largest customers actually uses Zendesk and uses our technology to provide recordings of their interactions for relocation services for the Canadian Armed Forces. So we can actually cross that level of a security bar, Mike.
All right. One more question we have here. Can you actually take over the screen for the customer side?
What we do is everything we do is geared around being compliance centric there. So no, if we took it over, right, we would be able to place transactions on behalf of the customers and incur liabilities for the bank. And that's not something we want to do. We want to be strictly enabling a great customer experience while strictly adhering to all of the protocols engaged by compliance to make sure that we're making not only the ongoing trust in the customer interaction what it needs to be, but that we're supporting all of the legal requirements behind the scenes as seamlessly as possible. We assume that, as opposed to kind of takeover software that assumes you own the machine that you're on, we assume no rights to that machine. We assume we are a guest in the house at all times, and we want to be the most well-behaved guest we can be.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Bud. With that, folks, we'd like to conclude this webinar presentation. Thank you for joining. If you would like to discuss your specific use case in greater detail, please contact me to schedule your one-on-one customized demonstration. Thank you very much again for attending, and have a great day.